Hi there, and welcome to the Christmas edition of the Gersnet Weekly Podcast. Hello there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Gersnet Weekly Podcast. It's the Christmas edition. It's a couple of days before Christmas, so we're all hyper here at Gersnet. We're all looking at the presents under the tree, wondering what we're getting for Santa. We've got something a wee bit early today, thanks to a wee Colombian and 2 special goals and 1 last-minute perler, an absolute corker, for long spells today. It didn't look like we were going to get anything, but we did. So we'll have a look at that. We'll have a wee look at the upcoming games against Celtic and Hibs at Ibrox. And we'll have a wee look at sort of festive season memories. Speak to the guys about things that they remember from this time of year, from years gone past. Joining me tonight on the podcast, I'm your host, by the way, Colin Armstrong. I should get my own introduction out of the way. Joining me tonight is the gaffer. He's back on. He only comes on when I'm on. I think he's checking up on me. It's Stewart Franklin. How are you doing, Stewart?
I'm very well, Colin, thanks. Like you say, I was too good at about 1 o'clock this afternoon, but things improved a wee bit after that, so we're in a better fettle now.
Are you all set for Santa coming?
Yeah, all ready to go.
All ready to go? Are you cooking?
No, my mum's cooking this year, actually. Normally my wife does it, but we've been invited over to my parents, so we'll see what happens there.
And also joining us tonight is another Gersnet stalwart. It's David Fraser. How are you doing, David? I was going to call you Fraser there. How are you doing, David?
Not too bad, thanks, Colin. Echo Stuart's sentiments about feeling a lot better after the game than I was at around about 1 o'clock. So it was
a long shift, wasn't it? At half time, I thought the game was a bogey, and I went out on Twitter. Made a bit of an arse of myself, actually. I went out on Twitter saying that the game's a bogey, we're not coming back. And when we did, well, there was plenty getting poured in about me, let me tell you. But no, enjoyable. What about you, David? Are you all ready for Christmas? You all set up?
Me personally, don't know. could be a fraught morning tomorrow.
Are you a last minute man?
I'm afraid I am, I'm this year. But the missus, she's got everything else locked into shape, The ladies tend to do that at Christmas time, they're ahead of the game and knock things into shape early doors. So I'm relying on her. Just after the course, really, Colin.
Are you cooking?
No.
Am I the only one cooking? I'm doing the dinner. Am I the only mug that's doing it?
Sounds like it.
I think I'm making some soup, actually, but I think that's my soup's are pretty good, so that's as far as I'll go. I don't mind cooking for time to time right enough, but my wife's usually a bit better, so
is that a tin of Heinz? Is that what it is, Stuart?
No, I'll chuck a couple of leeks in and some lentils. That'll stop cues and we'll be all right, I think.
Graham's cooking. He's mentioned in the chat there. He's cooking.
All right. Well, I should let the listeners know I've held his back tonight. My boy had his football sort of bowling night, so I was sort of dealing with that. So you guys have had some chat. So is Graham cooking?
Graham's cooking.
Oh, that sounds that sounds like it'd be a good night out. That actually.
I hope his temperature's no up. I hope he's actually physically cooking the dinner.
Yeah. I would be wary. Graham's cooking. I've got to be honest with you. I know he's listening in and he's not going to comment, but I would be wary of Graham's cooking. Right, let's get on to the matters in hand. First things first, though, before we talk about the football, there's been a bit of a debate on Gersnet about Die Hard, whether it's a Christmas movie or not. So I'm going to put it to the panel that are on tonight. My view is, under no circumstances is it a Christmas movie. It's an action movie set at Christmas, nothing to do with Christmas. I'm sick of it. And Graham is another one. I know he's listening in again. He's another one that's pushed this thing. Absolutely no way is it a Christmas movie. Stuart, your views?
I tend to agree with you, Colin.
You don't sound convincing, though.
Well, just because I think the writer of the film suggested it was a Christmas movie, so if he's saying that, then obviously he's got a more of a stake in the game than you or I. But I tend to think it isn't a Christmas film. There's too much action and not enough Christmas in it from my point of view.
Thank you. David?
It's a Bruce Willis film, Colin.
Yes, thank you. No Christmas about it. It came out in July. How can it be a Christmas film? How can a Christmas film come out in July? Absolute nonsense. So that's that debate settled. So on to the football in hand. Obviously, we were up the road in Perth today against St Johnstone, and for long periods, the first half especially, I thought it was dire. Really, really bad. I mean, I know we played quite well on Wednesday night against Hibs and just couldn't get the break. Today it was the total opposite. We never looked like scoring. We went 1-0 down just before half time. And I have to be honest, at that point, I thought we were a busted flush because I just couldn't see Rangers scoring 2 goals. But came out the second half, Stevie G made some changes, brought in Middleton, brought in Lafferty, and Morelos got the goal sort of 55 minutes. And then 2 minutes to go, we get the win. So it feels probably a bigger win than it probably should have because of the nature of it. Stewart, and because of that, I'll come at you first on this. How big a win did that feel for Rangers today?
That was massive. Obviously, we're trying our best to stay around about the top of the table if we can. So if we'd dropped points this afternoon, it would have allowed Celtic to open up a wee gap, and then there's a pressure for us to get a result against Hibs and try and even just stay behind them, even if we beat them at Ibrox on next Saturday. So to get the 3 points after being 1-0 down, I mean, I've got to give the players a lot of credit. I mean, on the forum at half time, I think everybody was going mental, and it was difficult to blame them. And I didn't blame you for being negative either, because I don't think there'd be very many Rangers fans would see us getting back into that game or winning 2-1 today. But I mean, credit to the manager, he changed things. Middleton came on for Gersnet, and then Lafferty came on for Koulibaly, and right away we actually had 11 players on the pitch instead of 9. So that obviously made a difference. And to be fair, we've been fairly critical of Lafferty on here, or at least I have. But the big man made a bit of difference today. I think he worked very hard. His link-up play was good. He was unlucky not to score a couple himself. But because he was on the pitch, it created a bit more space for Morelos. It created some space sort of in the channels, and eventually we took advantage of that. And I think at the end of the day, we deserve to win.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, an hour in, I would have, as I said, I just couldn't see Rangers getting anything. But by the end of the game, you felt that undoubtedly they deserved it. They'd done enough in that last half hour to win the game, I thought. But I'll focus on the first half performance. David, I think we've spoken about these in the pod before. I think these type of performances initially they sort of peppered sort of Steven Gerrard's reign. I think they're becoming more common now. It seems to be. I was actually a wee bit surprised on Wednesday. The standard of the performance played really well on Wednesday. You know, and I was a wee bit surprised with that. In the first half today, I wasn't surprised. I thought, oh, here we go again. You know, these performances, I think, are becoming more frequent. So how do we change that? What do we need to do to sort of eradicate these performances? Because I think we've got a chance of winning the league this year, but if we keep on, especially away from home, churning out these performances, they could damage any sort of challenge. So how do we get rid of them? How do we eradicate these sort of performances?
Difficult to say, Colin. I think if push comes to shove, I would say we need to invest in better players. I think what we've seen with performances like today's first half performance is that I think you're seeing players that are struggling to play under the demands that being a Rangers player brings. I genuinely think that a lot of these players are wilting under the pressure of having to perform and having to win every week and drive the play. You know, just be on the front foot and dictate play. It's all very well, you know, having possession and knocking square balls about the pitch, but there's no real drive and threat in terms of creating chance. I mean, we've spoke about this umpteen times in previous pods about the lack of chance creation. And watching today, you know, looking at Andy Halliday picking the ball up, you know, and trying to start moves, and Andy's, no harm to Andy, he's slow at the best at times, but I think the lack of movement in front of him, and then he looks even slower, and it's just everything about the forward line, Alfredo accepted. I think there's just something about there's something lacking there. So to answer your question, I think the managers, the management and the board need to find some money, and they need to unearth a couple of players at the very minimum that are going to alleviate some of the genuine pressure that some of these boys, especially in the middle of the park, are feeling at the minute when it comes to making chances. I mean, you've seen the day Scott Arfield goes out the team through injury, Ryan Jack goes out the team through injury. You've got a midfield three of Andy Halliday, Ross McCrory and Lassana Koulibaly, and you see how much they struggle today. So these boys need help. If we're going to be suffering from niggly injuries over, the next month or so, these guys are going to need to be helped, and that means bringing in additional players, I think.
Do you think it's middle to the front that needs to be addressed, or would you be happy just to keep the defence or the majority of the boys there? If you're going to address certain areas of the team, do you think it's middle to front that needs to be addressed?
Per se, no. I think we could be doing with a couple of defenders, but I'm coming from the angle that maybe we've got budget constraints, so it's a case of where do you prioritise? I think we're okay at the back. Obviously, Borna Barisic has got a medium-term injury today. The manager's confirmed that he won't be back until after the winter break. So that sounds like he's broken down again. He's been struggling, obviously, with trying to regain some match sharpness. I've been on record as saying I think we might be better served going for another centre half. But to answer your question, I think you've seen the day that we struggle to break down and organise teams who are not going to give you space. I think you've seen the Wednesday night Easter Road that Hibs, whilst not being scintillating, but they play in open fashion. They try to win football matches. I think it's how they're coached by Neil Lennon, and I think that played into Rangers' hands. But you see the day a team that's essentially set up to be tight and to nick goals, they're not going to be expansive in their play. St Johnstone under Tommy Wright, and you see that the guys like the three that I mentioned, they're struggling to pick passes. And if you get somebody like Eris Gresda that's not really firing in any cylinders, never mind all cylinders, and Daniel Candeias, who, to be fair to Danny, he tries like anything. He's disciplined, he works hard, but you can't expect Daniel Candeias, as limited as he is, to create all the chances. And if again, the old chestnut of James Tavernier, if Tavernier's, if he's nullified or he's maybe not 100%, then where else is this chance creation coming from? Especially given, the injuries that we had today in regards to Scott Arfield. So I think you've got to prioritise middle to front, as you say.
Sure, as David pointed out there, Borna Barisic, he's not long back in the team. And I thought against Hamilton, the Hamilton game at Ibrox, I actually felt for the boy because he must have sent in, it must have been well into double figures, the amount of quality balls that he sent into the box that day, and no one got in the end of them. So considering he's just got back into the team and it was starting to look like he was coming onto a game, how big a blow? As David's pointed out, and as I think Stephen Gerrard confirmed after the game today, it looks like it's a bad one and he's out for a while. How big a blow is that for us considering the fixtures that are coming up, Hibs and the Celtic game?
It's a big blow. Barisic, I think, has looked pretty good since his return from injury. I think before his first injury, he was half decent, but just sort of finding his way. But against Hibs the other night there, I thought he had an excellent game and were a big threat down that side. And it's important because I think Tav's been on form for the last sort of 5 or 6 games and sort of been struggling a wee bit. So it's good to somebody have another player on the opposite side of the pitch to help with that, and it obviously aids to the balance of the team as well. So taking him out then means we're having to play either Flanagan or Halliday. I don't think Wallace will stay in the team. I don't think he did too badly today, but you could tell he hadn't played for the best part of 2 years. So losing Barisic is a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. But as I say, we still have players there that can do the job. The problem is it will affect the quality again. Flanagan has struggled in the last few games he's played, and after doing okay at the start of the season, so it's a bit of risk playing him. Halliday is done okay over there, but he's not the quickest. Whereas Forrest is, I'm talking about obviously Celtic first, but even Hibs, they could play Martin Boyle on that side, who's quick. So it's a bit of worry in terms of anybody that's got a bit of pace can get past somebody like Halliday. Wallace has a bit more pace, but today looked at least 2 yards off that pace. So losing Barisic is a big problem for Gerrard. It's difficult to suggest how we deal with that. One idea is we could possibly go to a 3 at the back. I mean, Celtic, again, we're missing the Hibs game here, but Celtic often play 3 at the back and play Forrest at wing back. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that on Saturday. So it might be an idea if we matched up with them in that sense, and we could actually play Middleton there or even Gresda, and just go sort of 1-for-1 against each other there. But that would be obviously a bit of risk. So we do have options. It's just vital that the manager finds a correct one for the 2 games.
David, as Stewart said there, Lee Wallace was kind of surprisingly, I was quite surprised to see him on the bench. He was reintroduced today. And obviously with injury to Barisic, he came on. As Stewart pointed out, I thought he looked quite off the pace. And one thing Wallace was always good at was always sort of going beyond the strikers and the wide men and offering that sort of outlet. And he didn't do that at all today. I thought he looked like he hadn't played a lot of football in the last 2 years. But that aside, given the Barisic situation and the sort of issues we have at left back, does he now have a chance to stake a claim in the coming games, or is it just a case he's seeing his contract out and then it's cheerio?
I'm not too sure on that one, Colin. I believe that Steven Gerrard said that it's up to Lee what he wants to do, so maybe he's left the door open to him. I don't know. I would tend to agree with yourself in that he'll run his contract down and he'll leave in the summer. But there's obviously been rumours flying about that the Wigan have been sniffing about that he could well move on in the January window. But given that Barisic has picked up an injury, again, would that then have a knock-on effect with that possibly not taking place? I don't know. Again, as you guys have rightly mentioned, you could see that Lee was obviously rusty. Again,
he was culpable for the goal, and I mean, him and Halliday got done for the goal.
No, you're spot on there. I mean, the Lee Wallace, even when he was at his peak fitness, I didn't really fancy him much as a defender. I thought he escaped a lot of criticism in the, let's call them the banter years, when he was due criticism and he was excused criticism because he'd sacrificed his career for the good of the club and all that. And I thought it was well wide of the mark. But that said, Lee Wallace is a decent player when he's 100% fit. He's not going to get match sharp overnight. So I'm with you, Colin. I think that you may well not see him on Wednesday against Hibs. I'd be surprised to see him play any part in the game against Celtic other than covering for injuries. So I think it's very much a case of that today was, like the second string Rangers squad for the game today. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I would think that he would move on at some point, whether that's January or whether it's at the end of his contract in the summer. I doubt very much whether he'll be offered new terms.
Yeah, I think his days are numbered. And I was actually, I know he's not kicked a ball in anger for Rangers for any sort of period of time for probably about 2 years, as I said earlier on. But even then, I was still quite surprised at how slow he looked today. I just thought, it just shows you playing games, you can be fit, but that playing games gives you the match fitness that people talk about, that sharpness, and he just looked well off it today at times. He done a job, he covered that area, but he didn't look like the Lee Wallace that, I remember from a couple of years ago. So yeah, I agree. I think his days at Rangers are numbered. And it's sad how his career's kind of came to an end at Rangers, but I suppose it is what it is. And I don't think Steven Gerrard has any inclination to keep him there. Sure, we've already mentioned him, Eros Gresda. I think we're getting to the point when you kind of have to ask the question, what exactly is this boy giving to Rangers? A really poor performance again. And I think to a lesser extent, Daniel Candeias, out the front three, Middleton made an impact when he came on, but that front three in the first half of Grezda, Candeias and Morelos, outside Morelos, they struggled. So, are they doing enough? I don't think they are. Are these guys, particularly Grezda, are they doing enough in the Rangers jersey at the moment?
Grezda definitely isn't, that's for sure. He's been a big letdown, actually. I mean, he's had several games now, so you'd like to think he'd sort of be settling into the groove of the team, getting to understand his teammates, where to make runs, when not to make runs, when to release the ball, when to take it a run. And unfortunately, he's not really been doing it. I mean, even the other night there against Hibs, I thought he was fairly average. Didn't do a huge amount wrong, but there was times when he was getting the ball in good positions and he was trying to play passes. I don't know if he was trying just a bit too hard, try to force things when he keep it simple, but passes weren't coming off and he's losing the ball. When he comes short, with any sort of pressure on him, he loses the ball, or his touch is really bad. So it takes 2 or 3 touches to get the ball under control, and if he's not lost it by that point, then he has to pass it back the way anyway. I do have a bit of sympathy for him in the fact that their team's not playing well, so he's not getting the ball in good positions enough. So I think he's definitely a player that needs to be out on the touchline. He needs to get the ball facing the opposition's defence. I don't think he's much use with his back to goal. So I think you'd like to hope that he's going to improve as the team improves, but the problem is he can't afford to do that on the park. I mean, today was a man down. You mentioned Candeias. I thought Candeias was his sort of usual workman-like self. The problem with Candeias is, I mean, nobody can deny the hard work he does. In fact, he did really well the other night there again at Easter Road. There was one chance that I can't remember if it was McCrory that gave the ball away, and it was Martin Boyle one-on-one with Candeias. It looked like Boyle was going to get clean through, but Candeias got back and won it. And it's that type of defensive play that really ticks a lot of boxes for Rangers fans. But in terms of his creative plays, he's a bit sort of one-dimensional in that he wants to get the ball under control and cross it. And as much as he creates a lot of goals, there's a decent amount of assists, his crossing isn't always good enough, certainly when he's not playing well. So I think he'd probably be one of the last players I'd be looking to drop. Koulibaly again today, just I don't know what that guy brings to the team. He doesn't seem to have any idea where he's playing. And again, he was a man down today. He didn't make any effort at the St Johnstone goal to get across to try and block the cross with the left back, and his attacking play. I mean, I think there was one point he was trying to get into the box, and I think he stumbled over the ball about 10 times. He just didn't seem to be able to get it under control, and it's really frustrating to watch in a creative sense. It just isn't working. I think for Tav, he's having as mentioned earlier, he's not having a good period just now. We're really struggling creatively, and it's hard to pick out individuals when there's 4 or 5 guys that are really not doing the business. So it's maybe been unfair on you to say Grezda's crap, Koulibaly's crap, but the fact is that they aren't doing the business. So it makes it more and more difficult to make a case for them to be in the team. And I think they're quite lucky just now that guys like Murphy's injured and Doran's, because these guys would be well before them in the team, and they've offered a lot. Well, I think Murphy's offered a lot more than Grezda. They're quite similar types of players. So the jury's out. I mean, I think it's too early to write the lad off, but he needs to improve a whole lot if he's going to make it at Ibrox.
I agree. I mean, I think Grezda got a couple of goals. Was it the Motherwell game when we beat them 7-1? I think it might have been the Motherwell game. I can't remember. But he got a couple of goals, and there was a wee sort of 20-minute period in that game. I thought, actually, I'm starting to see now what he brings to the team. But since then, nothing. I get you with Koulibaly. I thought first 10 minutes today, 15 minutes, he looked bright, and I thought, all right, here we go. He's maybe up for it today, but then he just kind of fell into his sort of normal game. Since, I mean, he started his Rangers career well, but obviously he was out injured, and since he's came back, I think he's struggled. Candeias, I find quite frustrating. I I agree with you. I think he's fairly one-dimensional going forward. And I found myself talking to my boy about him one day, and I says one of his greatest strengths is, see, when he gives the ball away, he wins it back. But then I sort of said to myself, well, wait a minute, that means he's giving the ball away a lot. So going forward, he's a hard worker, and I would never, that's all you can ask for players, is they give their all, and that's one thing I don't think you could claim that Candeias doesn't give you. He gives you everything on the park, but I do sometimes think he lacks that wee bit of quality, especially when it comes to his delivery and stuff like that. But, until the January window, I don't know if there's anything we can do. David, coming back to you, obviously at half-time, 1-0 down today. Stevie G made a couple of subs. Well, he brought on Middleton straight away, which worked because obviously just spoke about Grezda struggling. Then Lafferty came on after about 50-55 minutes. You'd have to say they changed the game. Their impact in the game was significant. Yeah,
they definitely had an impact in the game. Obviously, Glenn Middleton's had an assist, provided the cross for the first goal. Kyle Lafferty again, he had a couple of chances you could probably say he could have buried the two of them. Certainly the first one that the boy cleared off just before the line. He should have done better there. The second one, he's trying to volley it, try and cushion it, and not put the laces through it. But another day, possibly a sharper Kyle Lafferty. I know there was talk about him possibly, being touch and go for even making the bench today. So I'll come a wee bit of slack there. A sharper Kyle Lafferty would have buried that. But I definitely they made a difference. I don't know how much we can read into the fact that the formation changed slightly. There's been a school of thought that Rangers don't have the players to play this 4-3-3 formation that the manager seems to favour. They went a wee bit more 4-4-2 when Lafferty came on, and it seemed to pay dividends. But yeah, I think that given that St Johnstone had been pretty comfortable up until maybe the hour mark, I think that when you've got a player on the pitch like Kyle Lafferty, who is experienced, he's not been that great since he's came back to Rangers. I think a lot of that you can put down to the fact that he's not playing a lot. He's not got a great degree of sharpness, but he knows what to do in the pitch. He knows where to be. He's generally get decent control. He can link the play. I think you've seen that, and he does give centre halves through his physical stature something to think about. So yeah, I reckon that the two substitutions made a difference, and the manager should get some credit for that, because he has taken a lot of criticism for not making substitutions.
Or getting them wrong. He has got them wrong on a few occasions, I think, and he's taking, he's taking the criticism. So you're right. I think he deserves the credit today. I think his two subs made a difference.
That's a fair comment, Colin. I mean, if he's not made substitutions at the right time, or he's elected to go with what is seen as being incorrect personnel, then you've got to give the guy credit when he does make positive changes and it comes off for him. So, they played a part in us getting the 2 goals and going on to win the match, thankfully.
Sure. Obviously, Morelos was key today. Middleton came on, sent over the cross for the equaliser, totally turned the game. For thinking there was no hope, all of a sudden you saw Rangers starting to get into the game, and then he scores that winner with 2 minutes to go. I've been quite critical of Morelos in the past. I'll hold my hands up to that, and I think he deserves some of the criticism that he got. But this season under Gerrard, he just seems to be going from strength to strength to strength. And I don't care about the discipline thing, because I think that's over-egged. I think that's exaggerated. Is he the best player in Scotland just now? Because he surely has a case to say that he is.
Well, there isn't very many better, that's for sure. He's definitely the best striker. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think his all-round game is excellent for a 22-year-old. I think he's physical. His touch is good. He's reasonable in the air. He scores great goals. All right, his finishing isn't always fantastic, but whose is, especially at that age. he's a full package. The lad actually is really is top class. I mean, there's other good players in other positions. I mean, James Forrest having a great season at Celtic, and there's guys. I mean, I don't know, at Kilmarnock's having a good year. So, but in terms of overall importance and their overall contribution, then it has to be Morelos. I mean, the amount of goals he's scored, his assists, and so stats wise, I don't think there's anybody close to him. So, I think he is the best player in Scotland, and I think it's a bit of a conundrum now for Rangers. I think there's going to be a bit of a problem in the next few weeks. So there has to be teams interested in him at the very top level. The good thing about having Gerrard as manager is it brings an increased profile to the club for us in terms of signing players, but it also brings a profile to the club in terms of any players that we've got that are playing well that other teams now will be interested in. And Morelos has to be on the interest of other clubs because his contribution has been excellent, and it's do we sell him now? Do we sell him at the end of the season? And if we do, who do we bring in? So this is a bit of a problem going forward. We've got. I think we can only enjoy him as long as he's here. He's really is top class, and I just hope he keeps scoring. And I really hope he gets the monkey off his back next Saturday and grabs a goal against Celtic, because his overall play this season deserves that. And if he can score on Saturday, then I think we'll win on Saturday.
Right, moving on, and we've got the preview coming up for Hibs and Celtic. Hibs at Ibrox on Boxing Day, and then Celtic on the 29th of December. Big games coming up. David, given we dropped points at Easter Road last Wednesday night there, and it was quite annoying because we dominated the game, and we also dropped needless points against Dundee up at Ben's Park. Surely, given the fact that Celtic have a game in hand, these are must-win games. No,
aye, of course they're must-win games, Colin. We've got to win our matches at home. It's as simple as that. It's the same old story. If you don't win all your home games and then win the vast majority of your away games in the Scottish Premier League, you're going to be up against it in terms of winning a title. So, aye, we've got to. I mean, first things first, one game at a time. Let's get Hibs out the way. Hibs last Wednesday night, they were one of the greatest sides. They carried a threat, don't get me wrong, but we seemed to boss them. After the first 5-10 minutes, we seemed to just take the game to them. We just couldn't fashion a good enough chance, and the chances that were fashioned, more often than not, they were done solely by Alfie creating a chance out of nothing for himself, and he didn't have just that final couple of percentage points to get a shot in target. So, we've got to win. I would say for the Celtic game, you don't want to. You certainly don't want to lose. But if we want to put down a mark and say, we're serious about this, and we're going to this January transfer window, we're going to strengthen. We're working on the basis that the Celtic are going to strengthen as well. Then you've got to treat these games as must-win games. We've got to. It's just the two are big rivals. The top 5 traditionally biggest clubs in the country. We've got to beat them. So, I roll on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'd agree. Absolutely. I think, I think the statement we made at Tynecastle when we beat them 2-1, went top of the league, that's a big statement, and they then let that slip and to lose top spot, and then we go top of the league again and lose it again. Now, I pointed out to a couple of my footballing dads that, as I said, I was at my boys' bowling night tonight. There's a lot of Celtic fans that are quite casual at the moment, but see, if you think about it, 2 years ago, at this time of the season, the league was done. As it currently stands, I know they've got a game in hand, but they're a point ahead of us. Now, if you reverse the tables, if that was us, I'd be sitting here a wee bit worried now. I think, wait a minute, we were 20, 30 points ahead of that Shire 2 years ago. Now it's down to a point. I know we've got a game in hand. And I genuinely think if Rangers do decent business in January, then they're in with a proper shout that they could win this title. So yeah, to make that statement, go to beat Hibs, go to beat Celtic, and let them know that, we mean business. So yeah, absolutely, totally agree with you. Stewart, coming back to you, obviously Ryan Jack and Scott Arfield didn't feature today. Arfield come off at Easter Road, wee twinge in his hamstring. I would suggest that they're being rested. No, they need to feature in the 2 upcoming games, because these are big games, especially considering them at home.
Yeah. I mean, Arfield, he's an interesting player, Arfield. He tends to sort of play in sort of fleeting glimpses for us. I don't think he ever has a fantastic 90 minutes. Maybe once or twice he's done that, but generally speaking, he sort of has periods of games where he does well, and he pops up where he's maybe not been in the game and creates a chance or scores a goal, and it's that unpredictability that makes him important for us, because I think David mentioned earlier on that we're too predictable. So we need somebody like Arfield who can make that late run and who can score from midfield and support Morelos. So to get him in the team, I think, is probably more important than anybody else for Wednesday and certainly for Saturday. Ryan Jack, I'm a big fan of Ryan Jack. I think there's certain times I wouldn't always play him, especially at Ibrox. But I think against the better teams, I think he's very worthwhile, just because he holds that midfield, he reads the game well, and he recycles possession really, really well. So again, I'm hoping he's fit and available for the 2 games, just because these guys give you a platform to go on and create chances and to score goals, and we need that platform. And I think it showed on Wednesday. We had that. Ironically, I think we played even better on Wednesday in the second half after Arfield went off. But the argument is, by that time, I think their career really came into the game, and Hibs had sort of went backwards a bit. So maybe Arfield, if he'd still been playing, he would have taken advantage of some of the chances that we'd made late in the game. So we really need them both fit if we want to take maximum points.
David, obviously Barisic was injured today, and I think it's been a bit of a problem position for us all season, because he's been injured so much. 2 big games. Obviously Lee Wallace was reintroduced today. Andy Halliday's an option, or you've got Flanagan. Who would you go with?
I'm not sure, Colin. I think from a defensive perspective, you'd probably go with John Flanagan. From a balance perspective, going forward, you'd probably go with Andy Halliday, because I don't see Lee Wallace playing there.
No, I don't see Wallace getting in there, certainly against Celtic. I don't think he'll play at all.
No, it may well be that if Wallace is going to play, if Wallace is going to play against Celtic, you'd like to think he's going to play most of the game against Hibs, but I'm not sure whether that's going to happen either. It's one of these things that when he's trying to keep everyone fresh, especially obviously when we're still in Europe, he tend to rotate the team quite a bit. I don't know. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, do we really want, a player like James Forrest attacking Andy Halliday, or Lee Wallace for that matter? I'd feel more assured from that defensive capability perspective with John Flanagan, but when he's played at left back, he's not looked the greatest, to be fair. I think John Flanagan's certainly lost a yard of pace with his knee injuries, possibly 2. So I don't know. It's easy to kind of jump to the negatives where the left back position is concerned, and you could make a case that Barisic, since he's come back into the team, hasn't been all that clever. He's certainly, he can cross a ball, Borna Barisic, but defensively, has he looked all that clever? The kind of jury's out on that one. He's certainly not been poor, but you think to yourself, get him off. But I'd agree with you. It's a problem position. I know that they've got an American lad in at the Hummel Training Centre looking at him in training. A left-sided player that plays at left back. So obviously they're not going to sign before January, so that doesn't really come into it. But to answer your question, Colin, I'm unsure. I'm genuinely unsure. It would just be a toss of a coin, to be honest.
Well, I'm kind of similar, to be honest. I don't think Wallace will feature. I think he showed today that he's he's too far off the pace. I fear for Halliday, based on that final game at Celtic Park last season. Forrest just gave him a doing. And if you were asking me this question 3-4 months ago when Flanagan first came into the side, I'd have been very happy to say Flanagan because he looked like a solid option. But recently, he's just looked all over the shop. He's not winning any headers. He was never the best in terms of his distribution. But defensively, I always thought he was solid in the tackle. Positionally, he knew where to be. And you thought, right, well, even although it's not his natural position, he's got it covered. But recently, he's just looked all over the shop. And so I must admit, getting into the Celtic game, that left-back position, that worries me. I must admit, it really worries me. And that's one of the areas that I think that Celtic might look at and think they might get a bit of joy there. And in terms of who I would go for, I'm a bit like you. I genuinely, I don't know. I think there's pros and cons for all of them. I would discount Wallace. Flanagan and Halliday, I don't know who I would go with. Stewart, we've obviously spoke about Morelos earlier on there. He's in, I think we can all agree that under Stevie G, he has come on leaps and bounds. His performance midweek, I know he never scored, but the way he led the line, fantastic. And he's doing this week in, week out. Yet to score against Celtic, though. At home, we're only a point behind them. Surely this is a real big opportunity for him. He really sort of put his name in lights.
It's certainly set up for him to do that. I think he's had chances in previous Old Firm games. I remember one at Ibrox, I forget if it was the one in sort of September or later in the season. He had a head at the back post, and then they had the one where he could have scored. It was a tap-in, wasn't it? He could have scored to equalise, I think, to make it a 2-2 draw last season, and he missed that as well, unfortunately. So it's beyond time that he did score against them, so I'm hoping it'll be this week. We have to take the game to Celtic. Earlier in the season we were doing not too bad, and we went to Parkhead and didn't really play very well at all, certainly in the first half. And I think Celtic hit the bar at least once, and probably could and should have been at least a goal or two to the good by half time. The second half, as the game went on, we started to creep into it, and it was just as we were starting to look a lot more dangerous and possibly the better team that Celtic scored. So we're capable of doing it. I think we just need that extra bit of belief. Okay, we're not playing well just now, or we're inconsistent. We've been inconsistent all season. I think if we can beat Hibs, and Celtic's got a hard game on Wednesday away to Aberdeen, then it's certainly all up in the air. Celtic's not been great this season away from home. It's a bit different, an Old Firm game, but this one's a different Old Firm game because they'll only have 500 or 600 fans there. So it's set up for Morelos to grab a goal, but I think as much as we've said already tonight that it's unfair on the lad to place all the onus on him. The rest of the team need to turn up, whether that's Lafferty up front or whether it's the attacking creative guys or whether it's defenders doing the business at the back and making sure Celtic don't score. The whole team need to play well. If we do that, I've no doubt that we can get a win against Hibs and a win against Celtic. And if we do that, we're top of the league. And that has to be a really, really big incentive for all the players, for the manager, and he really has to focus on this week, and they have to really believe in themselves to go out and do it. And one more really big push, because after that they've got a few weeks off. I'd like to think they'll get a week away to go and have a holiday and get them back and get them training again and get stuck right in and really have a good go at this to the end of the season. I'm not convinced whether we can win the league this year. However, we've got just as good a chance as anybody else. A couple of signings in January will help, but first and foremost, we need to win on Wednesday. That's where we need to look at first, and then take the game to Celtic on Saturday.
I'm actually going to slightly disagree with you. I think we have a chance. I really do think, and I said this last year as well. I know I said this last year, and I may be sounding like the eternal optimist, but my biggest thing with Brendan Rodgers' Celtic side, they've never been challenged, really. You know what I mean? And this is probably the first time, Steve Clark's doing a great job at Kilmarnock. Hearts, I know they fell away and Hibs have fell away, but they're beating teams. Livingston have also added something this season. And I genuinely think that there's an opportunity there. If we can just go on a run, I think if any team this season goes on a run between 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 games without defeat, then they're in a good position. And I think we get enough freshness in squad that I think the players have looked. I think we need to remember that Rangers started their season in July, with the European campaign and all that kind of stuff. And I think recently, since the Rapid Vienna game, we've looked a wee bit stifled. If we get enough freshness in the right areas, then I think it's there. I genuinely think we have an opportunity because we don't know, nobody knows how this Celtic side would react to the pressure because they've never had it. Come Easter, come Christmas, whatever it is, over the last 2 or 3 years, this side have been out of sight. So we don't know. We have absolutely no idea how they're going to react. So I think it's there. I think we just need to find the right players and just keep asking the question. And you know what? We've been there before. Helicopter Sunday, all the rest of it. We just kept asking the question, and on the final day, we got the answer. So, no, I think it's there. And these 2 games, that's what makes these games, in my opinion, so vital. We beat Hibs, beat Celtic. As you say, we're top of the league, and I know Celtic have built game in hand, but it's, as a statement, it says we're in this. And, yeah, who knows? I'm praying for it. Right, guys, one for the both of yous. Obviously we've not beat Celtic in a number of attempts now, certainly since we've come back into the top flight. Is it now or never? If we're going to win this title or even challenge for it, is it now or never on the 29th? David, I'll come to you first.
You've put me in the spot here. I'm going to sound slightly negative on this one because I think that we could still be in the title race if we avoid defeat against Celtic, assuming that we collect maximum points against Hibs and assuming that Celtic go to Pittodrie and win, then I think if we go into the winter break and we're no worse off in terms of the points behind Celtic, obviously they've got the game in hand, then I think that could still be a psychological boost to us. Having said that, obviously if we go and win next Saturday, assuming that we take care of Hibs first, which is going to be a bit of a tough ask, let's not beat about the bush, regardless of how ordinary Hibs looked on Wednesday night and how much they've suffered through John McGinn and Dylan McGeoch moving on, and Scott Allen to a lesser extent. If we manage to go into the Celtic game, having collected 3 points against Hibs, and go out and win, doesn't matter how we win. If we win the match and we go into that winter break, top of the table, the management, the scouts and the board deliver a couple of players, possibly 3, get into the second half of the season in this January transfer window, I think we're in with a shout. And like you, I think that we'll find out about how good a side Celtic are under pressure. And history tells us when Celtic are put under pressure for Rangers, a lot of the time they can't handle it. So I'm going to be positive in this respect. If we go in and win the game next Saturday, I think we're in with more than a fighting chance of going to win the title.
Stuart?
Yeah, I think we can do it. I'm not sure we will, but as I said earlier, I think we're more than capable, and especially if we can strengthen. But I do think we need to keep applying that pressure, and I think the best way to do that is for us to keep winning. Celtic have dropped quite a lot of points this year, a lot more than what I'd expect. As I say, I think they're in the away form table or something like 6th in that table. So they're not going to be overly confident coming to Ibrox this weekend. It's a bit silly concentrating on the Celtic game when we've got a tough Hibs team to play first. So I think David's right in that if we're no worse off than what we are now, in that being a point behind Celtic with them having a game in hand, then certainly not the end of the world. However, I think the more pressure we can exert, the better on them. And I think we really need to. I mean, you mentioned a statement earlier when we beat Hearts, and it was great the other week there when we did that. And you think, right, let's kick on now. And in the very next game, we got beat by Aberdeen, so we really can't afford to do the same this week. We need to go and beat Hibs on Wednesday. We need to put all our efforts into that. And then with the Celtic game, you never know if somebody like Ryan Kent's back fit, then it gives us another option in a creative sense, and we can really try and hopefully take the game to them. And I hope it's not a case of trying to keep it cagey and look to win by the odd goal and or even not so much play for a draw, but not be overly upset with a draw. I think psychologically and mentally we need to beat Celtic again at some point. I mean, obviously we did it a few years ago at Hampden in the League Cup semi-final, but we never even really looked close to doing it since. I mean, I think we've had one or two draws and played well in patches. We really need to go and do the business this Saturday against Celtic, and really that would send out the biggest message of all. And if we do that, then yes, I think we can win the league. If we don't, then I think there's still too many questions at this point. However, I think we've got to look at the bigger picture, and I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't win the league this year. I think we've got to stand by the team. I think we've got to stand by the manager. I think that there will be more improvements in the squad, whether it's in January or in the summer. I think we'll be able to try and move players on. I mean, we've got an awful lot of dead wood that are out on loan, and guys that just haven't done the business, guys like Pena and Herrera. You've got Jason Holt, Joe Dodu, and then you've got guys that we've mentioned already. We've got Lee Wallace. There's a lot of players that we need to move on, and there's a lot of money to be saved there. So we really need to get to do that and make changes to our squad and streamline it and add more quality. So whether or not we can do it this season or it'll be next season, I'm not so sure, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
Right, moving on. We thought, since it's the festive season, since Santa's on his way in the next couple of days, we would have a discussion about, some of our Christmas-related Rangers memories. And the only one that me and the guys can think of is it's one I can remember. I was at the game. It was 27th of December 1986, Rangers against Dundee United, and it was Graham Roberts' debut. We'd signed him a couple of days before, and Rangers won 2-0. McCoyston Fleck scored. Graham Roberts was involved in the opening goal. He sort of ran through a few guys. David, I think you were there that day. Were you there that day?
I was indeed, Colin. I was indeed.
Whereabout were you?
Sorry?
Whereabout were you? I was in the Copeland Rear. Where were you?
I was in the Govan front at the Broom Loan end, a place where I hardly sat that season, believe it or not. But I can remember Robbo running into the park that day and thinking, we've signed somebody that can battle. And as you seen for the goal, then that proved to be the case. And I think you've got a wee...
Well, would you mind the tackle on Eamon Bannon?
It cemented Eamon Bannon.
Cemented him?
Cemented him.
I think he landed in the Govan Rear. It was an absolute corker. And I think, see, for a lot of people, especially younger fans today who deal with transfer windows, so they only expect signings to come at particular times of the year. See, when it was different, I thought I'm older and I'm a wee bit stuck in my ways, right? I accept that. But I thought it was better then. When you needed a centre half, you went out inside one. And Rangers that season, I think they were about 9 points behind Celtic at that stage in the season. And I think Souness had identified, we need to stiffen up the centre of defence. He brought in Roberts. I think he played right back initially, but he obviously realised he needed to strengthen the defence. And I just mind seeing this guy thinking, oh my God, it was like the best Christmas present you've ever had. And we went on that season to win the league. So yeah, a decent memory. It's a game that always sticks in my mind.
I agree with you, Colin. I can remember coming away for that game and thinking, we've signed somebody that could possibly be the catalyst to changing our fortunes and going on to win the title. I know, as you rightly point out, we were 9 points behind Celtic going into the...
And it was only 2 points. It was only 2 points for a win then.
That's right. No, I know. I was going to say 2 points for a win. So, but I think looking back, I think Graham Souness didn't fancy Dave McPherson.
No, that was a big end to him, I think.
And obviously Graham came in and, as I said before, they just looked like a machine. Played a part in the goal, and it just came out. It was just fear. You could see players looking at him, and he's a unit. Graham Roberts, not particularly tall for a central defender, but when he was Oh, hard as, definitely hard as. When he played with Spurs, he played in central midfield as well when required. So, it was a tremendous signing, as you say, especially in the days when, pre-transfer windows and stuff like that. So, yep, good stuff.
Aye, I remember him. It was, as I said, I've still got my ticket stub. I'll dig it out and I'll stick it on Twitter. I think it was about £3. £3 to get in. Honestly, it's like £2.50, £3, and I think if you go into the old interest rate calculator, it works out at something like £12 in today's prices, which makes you realise how much it's more expensive as to watch football these days. But aye, Graham Roberts. What about football kits? You never get any Rangers kits you remember at Christmas?
Aye. For me, I got, funnily enough, the following season's kit at Christmas, the Umbro one, which fetches a pretty penny on eBay these days. The
one was that? The squares on it?
Aye, the squares with the Queen's Lager. I got that for Christmas.
Was that your first one?
No. My first Rangers kit was a pinstripe job.
That was mine, aye. That was my one. I got it at Christmas, 1982, 83, something like that. But aye, that was mine. And they used to come at Christmas time, they used to come in a box.
That's right, aye.
Aye, so you opened up and it was this Umbro thing with a full top, shorts, socks, and that was you. And I always remember when I got it, I never had a pair of trainers at the time. So I was running about with all my pals, like we all had our Rangers and Celtic tops on, right? And I was the only one running about with a pair of Doc Martin boots on. So there you go. No trainers, Doc Martin boots, top, shorts, socks, Docs. That was me kicking about on the 25th of December. What about you, Stewart? Nothing for Christmas?
I didn't. I remember my first football strip was a Liverpool strip. Actually, it was also the pinstripe one. So the
Crown Paints.
The Crown Paints one. So you're sort of talking the mid sort of 80s. It wasn't long after that I really started following Rangers properly. Just before Sooners came, a year or two before that. But then one story I remember getting the Scotland tracksuit. I can't quite remember if it was the World Cup at the time or just after the World Cup. And again, sort of talking 86, 87, around about there.
Was it that silver one, the silver thing?
It was. I did have the silver trousers, and it was like the sort of like striped top, sort of vertical striped top. But I remember I also got some roller skates, and I remember going out in the roller skates.
Was it turbos? Because I got a pair of turbos in '87.
I forget what brand they were, but I remember going out with my wee brother on the roller skates, and I remember falling on the roller skates. It was quite icy, and I'd only been out 5 or 10 minutes, and the big rip in the bottom of the tracksuit bottom.
The trackies.
So I went back and I got hell off my mum and dad for ruining their 20 or 30 quid or whatever it was. So I think since then I've never been trusted with anything like that for them. So I'm not really a fit person, to be honest. So. Oh
no, I got them all, tracksuits, all that when I was a boy. It was always the one that you never had, so if you had the home top, you wanted the away top. If you had both of them, you wanted the tracksuit. But, it wasn't, it was only up until my sort of mid-30s, something like that, before I stopped all that carry on. So yeah, good stuff. Right, that's all we've got time for this week on the Gersnet Weekly Podcast. A big thanks to Stewart and David for joining us. Excellent stuff from them, as always. And a big thanks to the chef, Graham, for his contribution. Next week, Ross is hosting. It's the last show, the final show of 2018. We've made it to the end of the year. Ross is hosting, I'm on as a guest, and Stevie Clifford from Four Lads Had a Dream is also on, so look out for that. We'll obviously cover the Hibs game and the big game on the 29th against Celtic. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed the podcast, share it, let people know, subscribe, do whatever it takes. We're always open to any feedback that you guys have got to help improve the show. Also get onto the Gersnet forums at www.gersnet.co.uk. Loads of articles on there. The forums, great stuff. Loads of fellow-minded Rangers fans just talking about Rangers. From everyone here at Gersnet, we would like to wish you a Merry Christmas. We hope Santa's good to you. We hope you all get the Rangers kits that you wanted and they're not from Sports Direct. In the meantime, until next week, bye for now.